Hey there, this is Jim Donovan. Thanks for tuning in. I am glad you're here. Today, I'd like to talk about how my dad used music to help beat cancer. Before we get started, I'd like to invite you to take advantage of a free resource I made for you. It's called the Sound Health Newsletter. In it, I share the latest research in music and health. Plus, you'll learn music and wellness exercises that you can use every day to feel your best. Just come visit me at donovanhealth.com to get started today. That's donovanhealth.com. If you're a subscriber to my Sound Health newsletter or you happen to follow me on Facebook, then you'll know I like to get personal. I believe the best way to build stronger connections with one another is to tell our personal stories. And today's episode is no different. This past summer, I accompanied my dad, Ralph, he's 75, to several of his cancer treatments. Just a few months ago, he completed the 7-week, 35-session combination of chemotherapy and radiation to treat throat cancer. And thankfully, so far, he's healing very well. During his treatment, we noticed that there was the clear, predictable wear and tear that the treatments had on his mood and energy and his body. Typically, he would feel okay during his morning treatment sessions, but right after radiation, I could see how quickly his energy and mood sank. By the time I'd get him home, he was ready for bed, and understandably so. These treatments take a huge toll on the body. Now, when my dad is feeling his best, he loves making people laugh. He's got one of the biggest hearts that I know, and he's also been a music lover all of his life. Particularly music from his era, which is the 50s. I can still remember watching him and my mom, Connie, dance to it in the living room. Considering I teach people about the healing power of sound, rhythm, and music for a living, it got me thinking, what if I could use music to help him feel better? And so my sister Katie and I got a hold of his phone and downloaded a free music streaming app, which we showed him how to use. Now, we use the app Spotify, but there's many others out there. Over the days that followed, I took a little time to curate a 4-hour playlist of happy, upbeat 50s era music for him to play anytime he needed a little boost. I included songs like Long Tall Sally by Little Richard, Yakety Yak by the Coasters, and Do You Love Me by the Contours. I also made him a relaxation playlist for bedtime and nap time, or when he's trying to calm his nerves before sessions. And then lastly, I made him one that features my music from my bands Rusted Root and Sun King Warriors, which I know makes him feel so proud. My hope was to give him something that he might use to distract himself from the pain and discomfort of his cancer treatments. On one trip back from the hospital last summer, I could see that my dad's energy was waning, and so I asked him if he would like to listen to one of his playlists. As soon as he heard the first notes of Little Richard's Get Down With It, I saw him crack a little smile, something I hadn't seen in weeks. And then he told me real softly, we used to listen to Little Richard and lift weights. I could see that he was suddenly thinking about fun times from his younger days and not cancer. As the music played, I witnessed his whole demeanor shift. And for the remainder of our 45-minute drive, we listened and talked about each of the songs and the memories he had of each. I really enjoyed that time together and even learned a couple things about my dad I didn't know. For instance, I learned that my dad is a huge Fats Domino fan, but doesn't like Elvis. However, he said my mom sure likes the King, enough for both of them. Another week later, I got a call from my mother. She sounded like her normal self for the first time in weeks. Caring for my dad was clearly and understandably taking a lot out of her, but on this particular day, I could hear that sparkle in her voice. And she just called to let me know that they had been listening to the 50s playlist all morning and that they were having a grand time. My mom said, he's been smiling and joking all morning. Now if I could just get him up and dancing with me. Hearing this actually brought tears of joy to my eyes. I hadn't considered that they might enjoy listening to these songs together. Needless to say, I was overjoyed that something as simple as a compilation of songs could give both of my parents some much-needed relief from this cancer battle. So it was no surprise to me when I came across research validating the effectiveness of this simple idea. In a 2016 analysis published in the Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews, a team of researchers looked at 52 different studies involving nearly 4,000 cancer patients, all of whom used music to help alleviate symptoms. What they found was a pattern showing music's beneficial effects on easing anxiety, pain, fatigue, and improving quality of life among a vast majority of the patients. Some even experienced a positive effect on heart rate, respiratory rate, and blood pressure. And in another 2019 study review of 40 clinical trials published in the Critical Review of Oncology and Hematology journal, researchers also found that music-based interventions produced similar results, particularly in reducing pain, depression, and anxiety. When you think about it, music has been a reliable companion for many of us throughout our lives. Yet during life's more intense times, like an illness, a major setback, or a tremendous loss, it's easy to forget how much a friend like music can get you through the tough times. Fast forward to today, I'm elated to report that after months of radiation, chemotherapy, and little Richard, my dad's tumor has disappeared and the cancer hasn't spread. And another great thing came out of this experience. Mom and Dad are still happily listening and sometimes dancing to the playlist. Well, that's it for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to come see us on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search Jim Donovan Sound Health. Now, before you go, I'd like to let you know about a free resource I made for you. It's called the Sound Health Newsletter. In it, I share the latest research in music and health in an easy-to-understand form. I also share beginner-friendly music and wellness exercises that you can use every day to feel your best. When you sign up, you also get discounts and first access to all of my Sound Health products and events. Remember, it's completely free. If you'd like it, just visit donovanhealth.com and enter your name and email address, and I'll start sending you new issues right away. While you're on the website, you can also read full transcripts of this show and check out a ton of other valuable resources. If you have any feedback, send me an email to feedback@donovanhealth.com. All the information presented on this show is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Lastly, come and visit me on our Sound Health Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channels. I'd love to see you there. The Sound Health Podcast is produced by OmniVista Health Learning and Donovan Health Solutions. For Sound Health, this is Jim Donovan. See you next time. Take care.